What's up, YouTube? Back at it with another video. This video is going to be about the top 3 forgotten safeties. I feel like these safeties are overlooked, overshadowed, and some people forget about them, and I feel like they should be mentioned with the best safeties of all time. Or I feel like they should be higher up on that list than what people have them as. So let's get into it. Before I get into it, these safeties are not in order. These are just 3 safeties I feel like that are forgotten. So the first safety we want to talk about is Jack Tatum from the Oakland Raiders and the Houston Oilers. Jack Tatum was one of the first DBs that was a hitting DB that will just hit you out of nowhere just because, and very physical. He's known for playing with the Raiders in his time in his 70s. And his nickname they gave him was the Assassin because of his play style. He had 37 interceptions in his career. He was a 3-time Pro Bowler. And he went to 3 Super Bowls, won one of them, and he was a 2-time All-Pro player. And during the 70s, he was known for helping the Raiders get to multiple Super Bowls and helping solidify that Raiders defense and get to what they known as back then as the Soul Patrol. The reason why I feel like he's forgotten because the area he played in, it wasn't very football-centric yet. I feel like people was more into basketball. And also, he played with better teammates and better DBs that played during the era, such as Willie Brown, Jimmy Johnson, Ken Houston, Cliff Harris, Larry Wilson, Dick Anderson. These are just DBs. They're Hall of Fame DBs that outplayed him during that era. Well, those are good and valuable reasons on why he could be forgotten. The reason why he shouldn't be forgotten and needs to be mentioned more is because before he even went to the NFL, he had an excellent college career. He was a 2-time national championship. He was a 2-time All-American and a 3-time first-team All-Big Ten. He went to Ohio State, and he also was a part of the College Hall of Fame. So he cemented himself in college forever, and the way he played got him a first-round pick with the Raiders at number 19. So he was involved in a bunch of iconic moments and plays in NFL history, such as the Super Bowl hit in Super Bowl 11 against the Vikings when he hit the helmet of the player's head. It's still to this day mentioned to one of the biggest hits in Super Bowl history. Or you can talk about the immaculate reception when he caused the hit to make the ball fly in the air where Franco Harris caught the ball and scored on that touchdown. And during that time, the rules was a player on the same team couldn't hit the ball to another person on their team to score when it was ruled that he was actually hit and he didn't hit the ball back, and that allowed the Steelers to win the game and also win Super Bowl that season. Or you can also mention the time when he injured Darryl Stingley and paralyzed him for the rest of his life. And this is from an expedition game. This wasn't even a regular season game. So he was mentioned in a lot of iconic plays and times in NFL history, and he also changed the game and how his safeties played to this day. And with all that being said, Jack Tatum should not be left out in discussion as one of the best safeties of all time, or even one of the best Raiders of all time. So moving on to the next player is Steve Atwater. Next safety I feel like that's forgotten about in NFL history is Leroy Butler, the safety from the Green Bay Packers. Leroy Butler was drafted in his 2nd round, pick 48 for the Green Bay Packers out of Florida State. And he was a great safety for them, and he provided stability during the 90s for them, you can say. And he's also overlooked coming out of the draft. So he was forgotten about from the jump and still is, which is crazy. You mentioned that he won Super Bowl with them. He's a 4-time Pro Bowler, 4-time first-team All-Pro in the Green Bay Packers Hall of Fame. And he's also on the 90s All-Decade team on the first team. So, it's wild that this player is definitely forgotten and underrated. Let's look at his stats. He had 953 tackles, 38 interceptions with 553 return yards, 12 fumble recoveries, scored 3 touchdowns while having 20.5 sacks. While Butler became the first DB in NFL history to have 20 interceptions and 20 sacks in their career, he also helped the Packers lead to a Super Bowl win, and also was an all-around safety. He was able to make tackles just about on anybody. He was able to guard tight ends. He was able to guard receivers, and he's able to guard slots, and also able to blitz the quarterback with great ball hawking skills. The only reason why I feel like Butler is forgotten about in NFL history is because his peak wasn't as long as other safeties, and it wasn't as high as other safeties. For a player to be in the all-decade team and also a Hall of Fame team with the team he played for while winning a championship with multiple Pro Bowls, you would think that player is a guaranteed Hall of Famer, or at the least somebody that people talk about all the time, but he's neither one. I feel like he's underrated in a lot of ways, and we should talk about him more. And what he brought to the Packers secondary, which wasn't even a secondary when he came. It was just a bunch of players that was back there doing their job until he showed up. He solidified his role and allowed other players to come in that wanted to play for them, such as Reggie White, and when they got their offense together with Brett Favre and them, they helped the Packers get to their Super Bowl ring. And he just helped the Packers elevate in the 90s. They helped them transform into the team they are now with Aaron Rodgers and others. And the last safety I'm going to talk about that I feel like that's forgotten or not talked about is a safety I feel like a lot of people do talk about, but I feel like it should be talked about more. And also, I might get people that disagree with me on this, but I feel like Troy Polamalu is even though this might be kind of biased because I am a Steelers fan, but still I feel like Troy Polamalu is a little forgotten and a little underrated because he was a heart and soul of the Pittsburgh Steelers defense in the 2000s and early 2010s. No matter if it comes down to running after running backs, chasing down quarterbacks, receivers, whatever, his passion, his speed, and his knowledge of the game was second to none. He was a great pass safety and run safety. He was able to play against both. And his IQ on the field was just immaculate. He was able to predict plays and see plays coming before it even happens. And he's on every play. I swear, when you watch film of him, he's literally on every play. Wherever the ball at, that's where he's at. And that's what I like about Troy Polamalu. He's one of the best instinctive safeties of all time, I believe. And he always goes and be where he needs to be at. And that's also part of why I feel like he's underrated or forgotten about. Let's take a quick look at his stats. He has 770 tackles, 12 sacks, 32 interceptions, 14 forced fumbles, and 107 pass deflections. He's also a two-time Super Bowl champion, a one-time Defense Player of the Year, a four-time First-Team All-Pro, a two-time Second-Team All-Pro, an eight-time Pro Bowler. He's also on the 2000s All-Decade team, and he just got nominated in the Hall of Fame, and he's on the Pittsburgh Steelers All-Time team. But the reason why I feel like he's a forgotten safety is because not in the fact that he's forgotten that people don't know him, or he's not being shown his props. I feel like it's more of he should be higher up on the all-time list than what he did to change the position for the modern era. I feel like is not looked at in a sense because I feel like he brought in the modern day strong safety that you want, that they model after is him, that I feel like, and the way his instincts is on the ball, and the way he's there on every play, and the way he changed the Steelers organization and making it back to that hard-nosed defense and running the ball style as it was in the 70s that he brought back to in the early 2000s and 2010s. He helped bring that back and change the culture of a team and turn them to a winning team again. And I feel like that doesn't get enough credit as it should. Forgotten about safety. And I feel like he should be in discussion for being the best safety of all time, or at least top 3 at the least. But let me know if you guys agree with my list or disagree with it. Or let me know y'all honorable mentions or somebody I feel like I should have put in that I've forgotten about. And I appreciate y'all for listening and liking the video. Comment, subscribe, share, and I'm out.
Man.
Hey, ever ate at Benihana's?
Over there in South Waco.
Just like in the hill, boy.
Yeah, man, I tell you, man, that mother came out there, man. I told CJ went over there, he wanted to go over there and eat. They said it's good and everything. I went over there. And so we went half on a thing was like $40. Like a mixed seafood plate for $40. So we got that. Then he ordered some sushi and a drink. Man, that motherfucker was $70, $75.
From where?
Damn.
Ichiban,
yeah.
Those old Fuji.
That's